At the Shriver Center, the lawyers work to make justice happen. Our issues that we work on, our agenda, comes from communities. We have relationships with social workers, legal aid lawyers, clergy, teachers, community organizers, and many others who every day work with high volumes of people who have problems, who bring problems through the door. When those people encounter folks who they just can't help, and there's a problem that there's no remedy for, or there's no program or strategy in place to deal with it, or there is a program but there's no money available for it, those kinds of things are brick walls. They have to look the person in the eye and say, sorry, I can't help you, there's nothing we can do. To us, though, those aren't brick walls. It's the makings of a policy agenda. And the stories of those people running into the brick wall are the powerful anecdotes that help us sell the solutions that we develop.
I'm Juan Salgado. I'm the CEO of Instituto del Progreso Latino, organization that serves the Latino community in Chicagoland. For the people that we work with, having a voice is incredibly important. It's incredibly important that, the kinds of things that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis have a seat at the table, have somebody that's out there actually advocating on our behalf and listening to the kind of things that are important to us. And so we've been very fortunate to have the Shriver Center as that organization that is effective in making sure that policymakers actually do the right things and do the right things as it relates to communities like ours.
My name is Selena Roldan, and I'm the Executive Director at Erie Neighborhood House. Erie Neighborhood House has a 140-year history of serving low-income working families through education advocacy and skill building. One of our primary programs is our early childhood program, and we've been so fortunate to be able to partner with the Shriver Center and use its education and strategy and expertise and advocacy to help our families that are in need. We know that early childhood is one of the major factors that impacts a child's later on success, and particularly for those that have less resources, early childhood becomes even more critical. At its most basic level, if parents can't receive childcare, then they can't go to work. And so that is why we are so grateful that the Shriver Center is doing the work that it's doing, and we look forward to our future partnership and collaborations.
Sergeant Shriver is a person I've known. I certainly know his family well. And those of us who are aware of the contribution he has made to America realize that the Shriver Center carries on a great tradition that Sergeant Shriver began 50 years ago. It's a tradition of really understanding what our democracy is about, where the poor and dispossessed have a voice. We know in Washington that the corridors are filled with lobbyists, well-paid people speaking for those who are very well off. But who is there to speak for those who have no wealth, no political clout? Time and again, the Shriver Center, on a local basis and a national basis, has been that voice to those who are about to lose their homes, those who have no jobs, those who are looking for justice in a system that may ignore them. When I take a look at the contributions made by the Shriver Center, I think about the current recession and all the unemployment, and the fact that President Obama said one thing we want to do is to try to give people a chance, particularly those in low-income categories, to find a job through TANF and other programs. It was the Shriver Center who stood up and accepted that challenge from President Obama and said, let us be the vehicle that will lead to jobs for those who are poor. My hat's off to the Sergeant Shriver Center, but also to the many people who have a voice in America to make this a stronger democracy, because the Shriver Center is there as their advocate, as their partner, and as their inspiration.
As lawyers, we can engage in litigation to force the issue, and we don't shrink from that when it's necessary and useful. But we also have a full array of other strategies to bring to bear to try to convince policymakers and the general public that the solutions we've developed are in fact the right thing to do and a smart thing to do to address the problem. We have accomplishments in child support, child care, welfare reform, workforce development, civil rights, protection for victims of violence, asset building, and other areas. Thanks to you and your support, we are advancing justice and opportunity in these ways.